A very good morning, my dear students. Today we are going to see bioscience subject. In that we are going to see the continuation of lesson 1 animal kingdom. Okay, that is the past 2 weeks we had seen the animal kingdom. Remaining portions today we are going to see what are all the remaining portions in this animal kingdom. Okay, I will give you a small recap about the last week session. First, we had seen the 11 phyla, how the 11 phyla are classified, based on what the 11 phyla are classified. We had seen that is levels of organization, body symmetry, germ layer and coelom. Up to this, the classification will be over. In today's class, we are going to see what is meant by binomial nomenclature. Today we are going to see binomial nomenclature, and after that we are going to see the 11 phyla, each phyla in detail with a common example. We are going to see all those 11 phyla included in invertebrata. Then with common example, we are going to see each and every individual phyla with a clear diagram or a picture. Okay, at present we are going to see what is meant by binomial nomenclature. The name itself, you know, binomial. What is meant by bi? Bi means two. Okay, bi means two. The nomial means naming. That is naming an organism with two names. Okay, we are giving name for an organism. The organism having two names. Okay, the organism having two names. This method of giving name to the organism was given by Carolus Linnaeus. That is the scientist name. That is Carolus Linnaeus. Only he gave name for the animals or organism. That is the method of binomial nomenclature was given by Carolus Linnaeus. That is, in binomial naming, each and every organism is given two names. Okay, these names are derived from the language, Latin language. That is the names are given from the language, that is the Latin language. Okay, from the Latin language the names are taken. Okay, now first we are going to see the first name. That is, I already told you, that is two names are given for an organism. The first name will be called as genus name. The first name will be called as genus name. Then the second name is called as species name. It is called as species name. The first name, that is genus name, the first letter is always be a capital letter. In genus name, the first letter will be always a capital letter. In species name, the first letter is always be a small letter. Okay, we can see some of the examples, then we will be clear. I will give you a table like that. That is, this side it is a common name, and in right side it will be a binomial name. There is common name of some animals I had given, and what is the binomial name of such animals I had given. The first one we are going to see is amoeba. That is, amoeba, it is a common name and its binomial name. That is, binomial means it is having a first name, that is a genus name, then second name it is a species name. For amoeba, this amoeba is a genus name and Proteus is a species name. In amoeba, the amoeba is a genus name and Proteus is the species name. You notice here, that is amoeba, the first letter will be a capital letter. Okay, this is genus name, the first letter starts with a capital letter. Then for the species name, the first letter starts with a small letter. You are clear? That is, first letter starts with a small letter. Okay, coming to the second example, Hydra. Hydra is a common name. Its binomial name is Hydra vulgaris. It is called as Hydra vulgaris. Then third one, tapeworm. Tapeworm, it is a common name. Then its binomial name is Taenia solium. It's called as Taenia solium. Here Taenia is a genus name and solium is the species name. Then coming to the fourth example, roundworm. Roundworm, it is a common name. Then its binomial name is Ascaris lumbricoides. It is called Ascaris lumbricoides. Okay, we can see some other examples in the next slide. These are some of the examples for common name and binomial name. Let us see what are they. First one, earthworm, Lampetomorti, Perionyx excavatus. Then second, leech, Hirdonaria granulosa, cockroach, Periplaneta americana, snail, Pila globosa, starfish, Asterius rubens, frog, Rana haxadactyla, wall lizard, Podarcis muralis, crow, Corvus splendens, peacock, Pavo cristatus, dog, Canis familiaris, cat, Felis felis, then tiger, Panthera tigris, man, Homo sapiens. Here the left side is a common name, the right side which is given, it is the binomial name. All the binomial name having the genus name and the species name. The genus name in the first letter is mentioned as a capital letter and the species name first letter is mentioned in small letter. Now we are going to see 11 phyla in detail. Invertebrata having 11 phyla. You are going to see in detail about the each and every phyla. Clear? First phylum, Porifera. First phylum, Porifera, that is spore bearing animals, also called pore bearers. Okay, va? That is spore bearers means the body having pore, small pore like structure. So we call it as Porifera or pore bearers. I told you that is in Porifera, that is the cells are loosely arranged. So there is a gap between the cells. So the space between the two cells is considered as a small pore. So it is included in the phylum Porifera, that is pore bearers. Now we are going to see some of the characteristic features of this phylum Porifera. The first one is it is a multicellular animal, non-motile aquatic organisms. Clear? Multicellular, that is body made up of many cells, that is called as multicellular. That is non-motile aquatic organisms. What is meant by motile? That is non-movable. Non-motile means non-movable. It is firmly attached to something. That is, if plant, for example, if the plant moving, no, the plant is not moving. It firmly attached to the soil. Like that, this aquatic organisms firmly attached to some of the substrate. A very good example is sponges. This is called as sponges. What is meant by aquatic organisms? Live in water only. So it is called as aquatic organisms. Then second one, cellular grade of organization. What is meant by cellular grade of organization? Here the cells are somewhat loosely packed, so it is called as cellular grade of organization. Then third one, body having many pores, that is called as, pores are called as ostia. I told you the organisms which are having the pores are included in the phylum 1, that is Porifera. So the body mainly contains many small hole like structure, that is called as pores, that is minute pores. These pores are called as ostia. These pores are called as ostia. Then next one, canal system. What is meant by canal system? That is these pores, through the pores the water will enter into the body and through a large wide opening the water comes out. So that type of system we call it as canal system. Clear? That is, the water enter through the small pores and it will comes out through a large opening. This type of system is called as canal system. What is the function of this system? That is, it has to carry food and oxygen through this water. It is aquatic organisms, no? So what will happen means through the pore or ostia, food and oxygen enters into the pores and it will be utilized the food and the water will be comes out. Then next, what about the body wall? That is, the body wall consists of spicules. What is meant by spicules? Some rod-like structure, like we are having bones, no? That is, it forms a skeletal framework for us, no? For the sponges, spicules forms a skeletal framework. The spicules forms a skeletal framework for the porifera, pore-bearing animals. Then what about reproduction? Reproduction. What is meant by reproduction? That is reproducing a young one. That is creating a next generation, that is called as reproduction. Two types of reproduction is seen in this phylum Porifera. First one, asexual reproduction, and second one, it is a sexual reproduction. What is meant by asexual reproduction? That is formation of young ones without the involvement of male and female. That is called as asexual reproduction. That is, here a parent itself, that is not a male or female, a general common individual develops a young one, that is called as asexual reproduction. Then what is meant by sexual reproduction? Here, that is the male and female gametes are produced, then fusion takes place, a zygote is formed. Such type of reproduction is called as sexual reproduction. Okay, let us see the example for this phylum 1 Porifera. That is, first example Euplectella and second one Cycon. These are all sponges which are seen in the aquatic, that is mainly in marine, okay, marine or some in fresh water. Mostly these are all aquatic animals only seen in water. Up to this phylum 1 will be over. We are going to see a clean neat picture for this phylum Porifera. I will show a picture and explain to you, then it will be clear for you. This is the picture of Euplectella. Let us see the surface, the minute pores are present. This is a picture of Cycon sponge. Here also pores are present.